Hey there, Internet. Felix Finch and my ever-growing wall of pins here. And welcome to Underground Lucha Things, the Lucha Underground Retrospective, where I, somebody who has never watched Lucha Underground, go through and experience this unique show for the first time. But you know what? You don't want to just hear me. You want somebody that knows what they're talking about as well, which is why I have here with me from Midcard Mana, the one, the only, my good friend, Angie. Angie, welcome.
Hello, hello. Nice to be back on Underground Lucha Things.
Yeah, and for anybody who wants to follow along, Tubi.tv, not a sponsor. That's just where you can find these episodes. They have the full series streaming. And we're going to go through and we're going to talk about episode 7, The Top of the Ladder, original air date December 10th of 2014.
It's just so weird to think about looking back at Lucha Underground and all the people that now are known as different personas or different characters in wrestling, to look back and remember, man, they were on Lucha Underground. I'm never going to get over it. It's always going to be like, woof.
Yeah, and we have a little bit of celebrity in this show because immediately we get shown Danny Trejo just right in front row.
Showing that Danny Trejo, the best friend and frequent collaborator of Robert Rodriguez, right there in the front row supporting Lucha Underground.
Yeah, Machete, which I didn't look up when Machete was made, but this might have been around the same era of Machete Kills. Who knows?
Yeah, I think the second one. The first one was, I want to say, in the early 2000s, like 2008 or 9, I think.
Yeah, but this was really fun. It was kind of cool to see him there. Like I said, get that plug. You want that celebrity plug. And,
oh, yeah.
And we start off with King Cuerno versus Superfly. Which I'm not too familiar with Superfly, and I didn't look him up more. I don't know if he becomes important. I don't know if he's another character. But I will say Superfly in there doing Lucha things. Cuerno immediately goes on the attack, and
yeah.
This
you see a lot of King Cuerno's aggressiveness come out here, and then you see how Cuerno was stalking Drago. Drago stalking around doing the same sort of thing. I believe it was Matt Stryker that calls him a gargoyle, just perched on top, watching, waiting, observing King Cuerno.
Yeah, and Gargoyle will probably be accurate, especially with the way Drago's mask looks.
Right.
Superfly does finally get his chance to shine and shows some great flying sequences.
Yeah,
including,
it's not a bad showing for him.
Yeah, no, this includes a feint between the ropes that causes Cuerno to end up outside of the ring. And I really love Cuerno's movement and positioning as he finds his spot. He stares down Drago as he delivers the big game to Superfly, which is his sort of Blue Thunder Bomb. So we can see that these two are obviously going to have something between them.
Oh, yeah. This feud is going to... You can already tell this feud is going to last a lot longer than a couple more episodes. You see the tension between them. You see both of them really targeting one another in their singles matches and trying to prove themselves to the other. Cuerno didn't really seem to lose control of this match, I felt. Cuerno definitely had a lot more of the power game down, and which I think is important, especially when you have two luchadors that can do a lot more of the acrobatic flying stuff. The one that has the power game really always has the advantage. And I never really saw that shifting away from Cuerno. But like you said, a great showing for Superfly, especially because I believe this is his first time in the temple.
Yeah, for sure. And we get a Pentagon Junior video package talking about his origins in Mexico, as well as his training in Japan and what looks like jiu-jitsu. And also putting over the Zero Fear, the Cero Mero, as they say every time you see him.
Yeah, I both loved and cringed so hard at this video package. I loved the video part. I thought how it was really beautiful. That told the story itself without needing the voiceover, because the voiceover just, I don't know, there was something about it that mismatched. And I love Penta. This Penta shirt. I love Penta. But it was weird. It hit weird for me. And I don't know if it's because I'm half Japanese, and then they have the line where he's talking about his training in Japan and carrying on the legacy of, the lower class citizens didn't have weapons, so they had to fight with their hands. And I quoted this line. It's the last line of the video package. It goes, and he's better than they ever were. He is Pentagon Jr., and he has zero fear. And I was like, ooh, it was too much somewhere in there. I can't pinpoint it, but there's just that line just really like, I kind of cringed at it. And I love Penta, but it just seemed weird. It works with the tone of the show, but it didn't make me think, what a badass. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I absolutely get it. And our next match, though, this does lead into it because Chavo Guerrero is there with Pentagon, yeah. And he's facing off against Fenix, who is joined by Sexy Star. And
yeah, I really thought I love Chavo's entrance every time, just with the smoke billowing out. He doesn't enter from stairs quite like everyone else. I really like how Chavo is owning the heel entrance here. I think he has my favorite sort of entrance out of anyone in Lucha Underground at this juncture. And I know we talk a lot about the actual goings on in the rings of the matches, but I thought commentary just sold this match so well. And it just is a testament to that commentary can really make a match. It can take it to that next level. Matt Striker and Vampiro, I can't say enough good things. I think they're excellent chemistry with one another. And they trade off really well with talking about both the history of their competitors as well as the technical goings on in the ring, what these moves are, why they're doing these moves, what kinds of damage these moves will inflict. And I thought that really shone through, especially in this match. That one hit me. Yeah, I just, all of a sudden, I can't say enough good things about the commentary team. And this match, a solid match. Chavo, who is one of the more animated heels in Lucha Underground, and Fenix, who's really starting to build himself up more as a face. Sexy Star definitely is a lot more of the pushed face at this point. At the time of this match, you see Sexy Star, and Sexy Star is there definitely to help Fenix get a little bit more of the rub, as far as he's the good guy and he's fighting against Chavo, and Sexy Star's on his side, so you should cheer for him. But yeah, you see Fenix really starting to shine a lot more, and people starting to pay more attention to him, even outside of his alliance with Sexy Star.
Right, and Fenix also was able to ground himself for this match. Like, he's going against Chavo, so Fenix doesn't immediately go to the high-flying stuff. He kind of matches Chavo's style, though he does pull off some of the flying shiz when he can. I love the spot where Fenix goes for a springboard Meteora, but Chavo catches him and rolls through with a single leg Boston Crab.
That was beautiful. That was seamless. I just remember watching them being like, this is why they're here doing these things, and this is why now you look at superstar like Fenix, who is given a lot more of an opportunity to shine. And he has been given a lot more opportunities, both in Impact as well as now in AEW. Although I think it's been a while since we've seen him in AEW, but definitely just shows that kind of talent and that kind of ability in the ring to be able to adapt to looking good against or working with any opponent or any tag team partner like Fenix can. That's just, talent on another level.
Yeah, and you start seeing like some classic psychology from Chavo there as he isolates that left leg. But
definitely the classic targeting of the leg to ground Fenix, because that once he gets in the air, he's almost nearly unstoppable. So it definitely shows also the sort of experience and ring awareness of Chavo to know that these are the things I have to do to make sure that I'm safe.
Yeah, and Chavo is the one that ends up getting the win after a frog splash. But although Pentagon does have to crotch Fenix on the on the corner first while the ref is distracted, but Chavo gets the win. Boo, bad guys. But
Sexy Star gets the last word.
English this time, saying that Blue Demon is coming back to the temple and he's coming for Chavo.
I know, I loved that.
Yeah, and
Chavo just, and you know, I don't talk enough about how talented of a performer Chavo is, but he makes Sexy Star look so great in how he sells even her promo there. You know, you see him get really amped up, and you see him really react to it in a way that makes it even more powerful. And not to get too far off, but it just goes to show, you know, character matters. And having the ability to react to even the words of your opponents rather than just their moves, to sell them as a whole package, just makes such a difference.
No, for sure. I absolutely agree. We get a surprise Cage video package. He's presented as an absolute monster. And obviously, when you get Cage, you show off his super jacked body.
Yeah. Cage, I think Lucha Underground is the first time I really saw Cage, known as Brian Cage, throughout most of Impact and other promotions that he's gone to. But rewatching this, I remember I was a little bit baffled as to what kind of character he's supposed to like. Is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? Is he just a monster without alignment? Because how it's presented when you watch the video, and it's kind of like the disparity with the Pentagon video package. What you get when you watch it is a very different message than when you add the voiceover. Because when you watch it, you look at this guy and he's working out super hard, and you know you can see that it takes time and effort to perfect his craft and to perfect his body, and then the voiceover just takes it to a different direction. I feel, where he talks about, you know, I'm not fast because I run faster. I'm not strong because I do this. I just want it more than you want it. And to me, that kind of rung a little bit cockier than maybe it was intended to. But I was just sort of like, I don't know if I like you after hearing that. I liked you watching it because I was like, man, this guy works hard. But after hearing that, it's sort of like, I don't know how I feel.
Yeah,
which I think works for how he's, I guess, for the role that he's supposed to fill in Lucha Underground.
Yeah, and we will see if it works because he is coming soon.
He's coming real soon.
Yeah.
And he's second now.
Yep.
Not actually in this episode,
but we get to our main event, which is Big Ryck versus Prince Puma versus Johnny Mundo.
Johnny Mundo.
Yes, in the
ladder match.
Yep, $100,000 ladder match.
Ladder match.
And the match starts with about half the runtime left in the episode, I noticed.
Yeah. This match didn't feel that long, but also was pretty long. Like, when I looked back on it, the second rewatch I had of this, I was like, this match is longer than I remember it being, and I just watched it, like, the day before. I was like, huh. Yeah. But, you know, definitely pitting the two main faces in Lucha Underground with Prince Puma and Johnny Mundo against the huge, I guess, kind of leading-ish heel figure in Lucha Underground with Big Ryck.
Yeah.
And of course, you know, Big Ryck has his crew that comes by as well. So it definitely lends itself to being the first, I guess, sort of heel stable-ish in Lucha Underground, you could say.
You could, and Matt Stryker does bring up the first actual ladder match being in Calgary. So, you know, brief history lesson there. And the initial action is specifically between Mundo and Puma before Johnny seems to remember that they're in a ladder match.
Yeah.
Yeah, we get some great, big, brawling, beefy boy, Big Ryck. And it's nice to see that even in Lucha Underground, they somehow have a problem with gravity once they are actually on the ladder.
Right? You know, it's definitely unexpected. You wouldn't think that these guys that are springboarding off of wet spaghetti, they can springboard off anything, would have issues there. I was actually very pleasantly surprised. I don't know if it's pleasantly, but I was actually surprised by how intrigued I was by Big Ryck in this ladder match, because so much of it seemed to revolve around the continuing feud, and like we mentioned in episodes before, the continuing feud / rivalry / friendship of Prince Puma and Johnny Mundo.
Yeah, and with they did something in here that I kind of laughed about, because Big Ryck tries to get Cisco and Cortez to climb for the suitcase. However, somehow they still have a problem figuring out where to place the ladder, despite the fact that in the Lucha Underground ring there is a giant symbol dead center.
Right in the middle. Right in the middle.
Which might as well be a place ladder here marker for a ladder match.
It's so good, man. I loved that, actually.
Yeah.
I was like, this is perfect. Just goofy sometimes, which works. And I mean, they're supposed to be his goons. So we're not supposed to be like, oh, well, they're real smart. No, they're just, like putties.
Yeah, and
they're just there to hit a couple of punches and distract people, while the actual big bad is there to do the real work. So.
Yeah, and shout out to the stupid large ladder on the outside, which that's there with Chekhov's table, as we call it.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
Puma and Mundo are taking full advantage of the ladders. There's a great spot with Mundo pushing a ladder onto Puma, and Puma being like just in the middle of the open slot. Like he pushes it over and he just ducks in. He's right in the middle.
Yeah, that was that. I loved that. I was like, this is just.
Which I think
good.
I think we saw that spot at this at this year's WrestleMania. Like that spot looked really familiar of the ladder falling over and the person being like just in the middle of the ladder as it falls.
Yeah.
So I think we saw that this year's WrestleMania. So if so, hey, good job. Lucha Underground carries on. It's a very exciting match, and I would say it's pay-per-view quality, since as far as I know, they don't have pay-per-views. Cortez is sent through Chekhov's table, and while it's, I do really like the 3-on-1-on-1 methodology of the match. There's a badass corner ladder exchange between Mundo and Puma, though Ryck interrupts it with power bombs, and Ryck hits Puma with a power bomb through a ladder that's on the outside, and while Big Ryck tries to use 2 ladders to climb up to the briefcase.
Yes, that's on my notes. Big Ryck 2 ladders. You got other people with 2 belts. Big Ryck got 2 ladders, man.
Yeah, just
I loved that, and I think that was actually a really nice touch to make him seem, even bigger. That he needs to use 2 ladders, one for each leg to get up there, because 1 ladder ain't gonna hold Big Ryck.
Yeah.
So I loved that, and honestly, I liked that sort of juxtaposition, because you have these 2 really acrobatic guys in Puma and Johnny Mundo, and then Big Ryck is the one solid one, as big as both of them combined, but has the power game on lock. So just that, yeah, to me that really helped him look like a monster.
Yeah, and plus you got the ladders somewhat separated, so as he's climbing, Mundo was able to take Ryck to Dick Kick City. I was in Big Dick City to Dick Kick City, and some random person in a mask comes in to attack Johnny. No idea who it is, honestly. I don't know if that'll come up later, but Ryck and his lackeys set up ladders in the ring to get up to the case, but Johnny's able to shit-can Ryck, Cortez, and Castro, and Cisco, and springboard to the ladder and retrieve the case for the win. Yeah, for sure. It was very fun. After the match, Dario Cueto comes and asks Mundo to give him his key back now that he's been paid. And
specifically to put it around his neck. That whole, put it around my neck, Johnny. Put it around my neck. I was like, that's a weird sort of flex. I don't know, like, what you get out of him, like, putting it around your neck.
Yeah.
Like, just put it in my hand, man. Walk away. Just throw it here, and I'll pick it up, and you can get the fuck out of my ring or something, But, yeah.
Yeah, well, obviously Johnny also doesn't take kindly to this, and decks Cueto with the key in his hand, but does
Gosh,
put the
them, yeah.
but does put the key, but does take the key and lay it on Cueto as he's splayed in the ring, and that's how this show
Yeah,
ends.
still a face, more of an anti-authority face, perhaps a little bit edgier face, but still a face here. So he keeps up his end of the deal. He adds in the little extra of the shiner that Dardo Cueto will have after that hit, but gives him a little something.
Yeah, for sure. So overall, that was this episode of Lucha Underground. What were your overall thoughts on it, Angie?
I liked it. I'm a sucker for any ladder match. I love ladder matches, and I really liked how each of the three guys got an opportunity to have their moment where you're like, man, maybe Big Rick's gonna get it, maybe Prince Puma's gonna get it, maybe Mundo's gonna get it. This is one of the matches where I don't know who's gonna win here, and I like when I have that feeling. Like I said, ladder match is just great. Three super talented dudes duking it out in the middle of the ring. Good time.
And for myself, I thought that especially the main event was very strong. I didn't realize how short the first two matches were until I realized how long the last match was. But it didn't feel long, which is always good. A match that doesn't feel long, despite being long, is a good match. I do like that we're getting kind of consistent story with Chavo, Sexy Star, Fenix, and Penta. I'm sure that'll lead to something. And King Cuerno and Drago, I see that we have a continuation with them. So again, we're establishing the main characters of our story, which is a good thing, and I think that this was a very good lucha thing.
Yes.
Yeah. Anyway, Angie, do you want to let everybody know where they can find you?
All right. I am on Mid Card Mana, which is on YouTube, and it's me and my tag team partner, which is Sam Killa, the wrestling connoisseur, talking about wrestling things from the Hawaii perspective. I'm also actually recently also on Valley Island Collective, which is me and a bunch of guys on a different island talking about wrestling opinions ranging from best wrestling themes of all time, what kind of gimmicks work, what kind don't, a lot more general group chat. So either way, both of them are on YouTube, Midcard Mana, Valley Island Collective. Check them out.
And I'm here on YouTube at Frisco Flame. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter as Frisco Flame. You can even find me as Felix Finch on Twitter. And you can buy my shirts at friscoflame.com, including this lovely tri-blend with a little logo. This tri-blend, the polyester cotton, is when they add the rayon for that tri-blend that it gets super comfortable and feels really good. Anything else in Heather also feels awesome. But that's it for this episode. This Friday, you'll see us back with Season 1, Episode 8, A Unique Opportunity. Peace out, party peoples. We will see y'all next time.